Hi everyone, Arnold here, santamuertemagic.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. The topic of today's video is a good death in the tradition of Santa Muerte. This is something I touch on very briefly in my book, Santa Muerte Devotion 101, and I would like to address it further because it is something which is not talked about very much. The word muerte in every usage that I am familiar with means death, but the word santa has a few different meanings in Spanish. The first and probably most common is as the feminine form of the word saint. So Santa Muerte can be translated as Saint Death, which is the figure depicted in Mexican folklore, the figure identified as the female personification of death itself. The next translation of Santa could be as holy, which makes Santa Muerte holy death. This translation communicates a mystical or magical idea of death. It turns death into something which can be prayed to. It turns death into a holy intercessor, rather than just the unavoidable consequence of life. Now, the final way to translate Santa is as good, which makes Santa Muerte mean good death. This is a less common translation. It's more of a formal translation, similar to when Christians refer to the Bible as the good book. When they do this, they are not making commentary about how much they like the stories. They are describing the book itself as a source of goodness, or something to be held up and given favor. So to describe Santa Muerte as good death, we are describing a death that is a source of something good, something to be held up and looked on with favor. It is this last definition which I would like to expand on in this video. When we devote ourselves to Santa Muerte, we are devoting ourselves, in addition to Saint Death and Holy Death, we are devoting ourselves to the idea of a good death, a form of death which is inherently good and which we can look forward to with favor. This begs the question, what kind of death is inherently good? What kind of death can we look forward to with favor? The answer to this question will be different for each and every one of us. For some of us, the idea of a good death could be a death that we don't see coming, that is as quick and painless as possible. Others might value a death that comes in our sleep, where one night we drift off to sleep and we just wake up dead. Some people want to be surrounded by loved ones when that time comes, and still others may have an anything but preference, so anything but drowning or anything but a plane crash. If you are yet unsure of what a good death might be for you, I encourage you to meditate on the question. Don't worry if you change your mind once or twice, or even 10 or 20 times. What seems like a good death today might seem like a terrible death tomorrow. So why is it important to understand the idea of a good death? It is important because it provides a possible reason for when a petition goes unanswered. If something you are asking for would pull you off the path of your best possible death, of a good death for you, then it makes sense for the Santa Muerte to not grant the petition. And just to be clear, this is not the only reason why a petition may go unanswered. As I've always said, we do not command Santa Muerte, we appeal to her, we build a relationship with her, and we ask of her, but we do not snap our fingers at her. The buck stops with Santa Muerte, and it is always her prerogative which petitions she will grant and which she will not. The reason I wanted to bring up this good death discussion as it relates to Santa Muerte magic is so I could explain the importance of giving the Santa Muerte options to work with. In magic, primary principles or pillars of successful magic are focus and intent. This just means that we should get clear on what we want before we ask for it, because the more general we make our petition, the more general we can expect any results to be. It's the difference between asking for money and asking for a specific dollar amount. If you simply ask the Santa Muerte to deliver money into your hands, then technically finding a dollar on the street could be considered a successful petition. But if you actually need $500 for an emergency car repair, finding a dollar on the street isn't going to do much good, which is why clear focus and intent are so important. However, these can be double-edged swords, and in some cases, too much focus and intent could actually work against you, precisely because of the good death principle I explained earlier. And where I see this happen the most is in love magic. Many people who contact me with questions about love magic contact me wanting to know how to win the love of a specific person. At the time I'm filming this video, we live in a world of almost 8 billion people, and when people ask about love magic, they want to know how to win the love of a single person, forsaking all others and all other possibilities to find love. The response I give to these people is that they are perhaps too focused and too intent on a single outcome. They give the Santa Muerte no options to work with. The reason you want to give the Santa Muerte options to work with is because of the good death principle. If you are after one specific outcome, but if that one outcome would lead you off the path of your best possible death, then it is not a surprise why the petition would go unanswered. For more successful magic, I suggest you practice measuring your focus and intent. You want to be clear about what it is that you want, but you also want to provide multiple options that the Santa Muerte could use to fill the request. For example, instead of asking the Santa Muerte for the love of a specific person, petition instead for a true love, or for the love of a person who shares the top attributes that you think you are attracted to. This way, if a relationship with one person would pull you too far off the path of a good death, then Santa Muerte may still be able to satisfy your desire for love with someone who will keep you on a good death path. Instead of asking the Santa Muerte for a specific job at a specific business, ask the Santa Muerte to give you what you like most about the job. Ask for a job that pays at least X amount of dollars a year, or for a job that bestows a title that you want to hold. Then, if one position at a specific business would pull you too far off the path of a good death, then perhaps Santa Muerte can still satisfy you with a job which meets your needs and fulfills your desires, but keeps you on the path towards the death that is best for you. In both of these cases, you are still exercising good focus and intent by making it clear that what you want, but you are also allowing the Santa Muerte the opportunity to fulfill your request in such a way that keeps you on that path towards a good death. So that is ultimately the point that I wanted to share today. If you are planning on making a petition to Santa Muerte, be specific enough to make it clear what you want, but not so specific that you eliminate options by which the petition can be fulfilled. If a petition is not fulfilled, it could simply be that granting the petition would have pulled you off your personal path towards a good death, which is an idea that you inherently devote yourself to when you become a devotee and when you pray to a Santa Muerte. Hopefully I've explained all my points clearly, but as always, please let me know if you have any questions. You can contact me through the contact form at santamuertemagick.com, and there is also the Patreon messenger system and the Discord chat server. Thanks for watching. Until next time, bye.